All right, hell yeah, let's go. Welcome to episode something. We're recording 3 episodes today, so it's either 4, 5, or 6.
Damn.
Yeah, we're on the grind today. So welcome to No One Cares About Your Band, a podcast where we talk to musical people about non-musical things. I'm Ben. I host this podcast. I'm also in a band called Sweet Peach. And with me, as always, is my co-host Ellie. What's
Hi.
up?
How's it going? I'm Ellie. I am not in a band, but I do a bunch of other stuff.
Ellie, you're in like 6 bands. What are you talking about? You're at least in Mover Shaker.
I'm in Lead DIY is a nonprofit that I run, and it occasionally gets billed as a band. So that's close enough, right?
You're in bands by association, by proxy.
Yeah.
Exactly. And who you just heard was our special guest for today, Kory from the band Prince Daddy and the Hyena. What's up?
Hello. Chilling.
How's it going, dude? How
It's
you
going
been?
great. I've been good. Been
On the
better, been worse,
podcast,
you know. I've been on that
Yeah.
podcast grind. Trying to get my voice out there.
Hell yeah. How many people hit you up from that tweet?
Let's just say I have around 5 podcasts a day for the next 7 days to do.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
So Prince Daddy, that's pretty sick. Y'all been pretty much grinding ever since the album came out in June. Is that right?
Yes, June. Yeah, I think.
Y'all been grinding hard. You got a couple tours coming up, right?
Yep, sure do.
That's sick. I'm gonna try and make the DC show for that, but
Hell yeah, you should.
I'm getting married literally 2 days after that. So like, I don't know if I'll be able to. I want to go, really.
Well,
But-
you're not getting married 2 days before you're getting married.
You know that's true. You got a point.
Just saying. You got the honeymoon after and stuff. Nothing before, right?
That's true. I don't have any major plans right before, so maybe I'll come out.
Who knows what could happen?
Yeah. So you're hitting that with Oso and Just Friends.
Yes, and Maxio and Sincere Engineer.
Love them. Love it all. Great touring package. And
Yes,
then
I'm so
y'all
excited.
Yeah, hell yeah. Y'all are going to the UK after that too.
Yes, that too. Yep.
Are you
Very
doing
excited about that as well.
Yeah, are you doing the booze cruise? Is that
We're
what?
doing the Blues Cruise. Yep.
Sick.
I'm so fucking jealous that I'm not going. Like all the homies on one cruise that just happens to be.
Hit Like a Girl's playing. I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, Connor, who is my roommate, is drumming for Hit Like a Girl.
Oh, fuck
And
yeah.
I'm so
Can I
jealous.
swear? Is it okay if I swear?
Yeah. You good?
Eh? Okay, cool.
No, that was a yeah.
Sweet. Hell
Okay.
yeah. I'm excited to see Hit Like a Girl. I think Mikey Erg is playing the same night as us, and that's crazy to me because the Erg's one of my favorite bands ever. I'm very excited about that.
That's sick.
Yeah.
I love Mikey Erg.
Me too. Me too. Talented man.
But yeah, so as we do, we start out with a little bit of music talk, which we just kind of started.
Sure.
So what's been going on with P Daddy besides the tours? Anything to report?
Honestly, currently, right now, as we speak, is the longest period of time off I've had since we started the band, which was 5 years ago. This is the first time in 5 years, maybe 5.5 years, that I've had more than 60 days off in a row.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's
It's been
wild.
really interesting. And that's why I'm kind of like aching to do all these podcasts and shit, because I feel like my human interaction level has been at an all-time low.
I feel that.
Yes.
And I thought being home for a month was awful. Oh no.
Yeah, right. It gets weird. It gets real weird and isolating, if that's a word. It's definitely not a word, but it can't. You know what I mean.
It's close enough. We get what you mean.
Yes. I just been, as far as the band, we have a new bassist that we're really stoked to be playing with. We're writing. I have a lot of songs written. There's like 30 songs written for the next record. We're really stoked about learning and stuff.
Sick.
practicing for the tour. I feel like we're all very, very excited for this tour. I think it's like the biggest shows we've ever played, and the package is like literally friends we've had since the band started. Like P Daddy, Just Friends, and Oso have done this tour like 4 other times, and the other times it has been like house shows playing to 10 people. So it's cool to have this happen again in 2020 and play to maybe a couple hundred people, hopefully, at real venues.
16 people make big moves.
What was that?
16 people make big moves.
Yeah, doing our best here. We're trying real hard.
Hell yeah, it's real sick shit.
Thank you.
Anything else as far as like musical stuff that you would like to add? Anything you've been like vibing on or anything like that?
As far as like my appreciation as a music listener or me as a musician?
Either or, I guess. I don't know.
Let's see here. As a musician, I'm writing my own songs. I'm trying to write a solo record. Me and Jade from Oso Oso are starting a band that we're going to release a record on.
Hell yeah.
Oh shit.
And as a music listener, I am currently rediscovering my love for the Strokes. That's where my time has been going.
Was it because of the Bernie rally?
You know what? That really pushed it. But even before the Bernie rally, me and my friend Lewis, who Ellie knows, me and my friend Lewis went to New York City on New Year's to see the Strokes. And it was like the first time playing in like a year or so. And it was fucking phenomenal. And our booking agent, or actually maybe just my friend, gave me a little tip, gave me a little pointer saying that the Strokes were having an after party at Baby's All Right in New York City, which is a venue we've played before. And so after the show, I went to Baby's All Right and just hung outside and met all the Strokes and Post Malone. And yeah, it was a very memorable night. So it made me rekindle my love for that band that I've had since middle school, probably.
I appreciate just glossing over the Post Malone.
Yeah, you know, that happened. Post Malone bought me a shot, so what? Sue me.
I was Post Malone for Halloween a few years ago because I fell and knocked 2 of my front teeth out. So I had like a metal bar across my teeth for like a month. So my friends were like, you have to be Post Malone. And I was like, I don't really want to go out on Halloween, but like whatever. So I was Post Malone begrudgingly for Halloween once.
That's
just
kind of
an
badass.
angry Post Malone. I love it.
There's also one other person there that I met that I'm not sure if I should mention because they're kind of problematic. But yeah. I met Mac DeMarco was chilling there too.
Oh.
Yeah. But guess what? Mac DeMarco didn't buy me a shot.
There you go.
So fuck Mac DeMarco.
Mac DeMarco is just one of us that got lucky. Like, let's be real.
That's exactly what he is. Yo, everyone tells me that I look like him. Everyone tells me they're like, yo, Kory, you look like some Mac DeMarco ass looking motherfucker. And so like that's a constant in my life. So when I saw him at Baby's All Right, I like went up to him. I was like, yo, good. Like he played the Stroke show too. He was the openers, and I was like, yo, like good set, whatever. Just to let you know, like people say I look like you, and he was like, oh shit, man, you're white too. I could totally see it. and I was like, oh my God, I can't tell if that's a roast or not, but that just made me laugh a lot.
Damn, that's either like the coolest shit ever, or that's like super pretentious. And I hate
exactly. Now. That's exactly what it is. I was like, I don't know whether I love this or I hate this, but it's definitely one or the other. He had that ready to go. I was like, damn, interesting, Mac.
That's funny as hell.
Yeah.
All right, so we can hop into the not music talk.
Okay.
Here now. So Kory, you wanted to talk about some like sci-fi horror movie type stuff, right?
I would love to. I mean, I have a lot to say. Probably, I think maybe if I have some prompts. I love horror movies. That's how I spend my time mostly. Horror, sci-fi movies.
Yeah. When did you start getting into it? Did you get into it in like high school?
Honestly, probably before even just the whole aesthetic of you know, that kind of shit was a thing for me since forever. Like probably my first favorite movie was like E.T. or Gremlins. One of those two, which I know like it aren't straight up horror movies, but they definitely got me going in that trajectory as far as what I want to see and, you know, feel from a movie.
That's definitely like Gremlins for sure is like baby's first horror movie almost.
Yeah, no,
Like,
exactly. That's exactly what it is. And going back and watching it now, even like that's a pretty scary movie for a kid to watch. Honestly,
there's some
like
fucked up moments in there.
there really is. There actually is. Like what? Spoiler alert: a fucking gremlin gets. They put him in a microwave and he pops. Like, and it shows him pop. Like he implodes, and I think that's like, damn, this is rated PG. There's kids seeing this with their families. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's kind of, there were like a lot of fucked up moments in that movie.
There's people getting stabbed and shit.
But because it's like Gizmo and he's like riding around in the remote control car and stuff, like people always forget about like the weird shit in that movie.
Right, for sure. But that being said, Gizmo hopping in a car and stuff, that's my shit too. I love Gizmo. I wish
Gizmo's
Gizmo was
great.
real. I wish me and Gizmo were chilling right now.
What movie is this?
Gremlins.
Oh,
Wait,
okay.
who's
Yeah.
talking right now? Who was that?
We
Okay.
we got Nick from Equipment in the
Yo,
chat
Nick!
right now.
I know Nick.
What's good?
I'm chilling. You remember me?
Yeah, I think I heard of your band.
Dude, it's good to hear from you. What a pleasant surprise, honestly.
Yeah, I was on here and they were like, "You should hop in on a random podcast," and that was like 5 podcasts ago. And now,
And look at us now.
wow, all grown up, like the Rugrats show.
Damn.
Yo, I want
this is
hair
gonna
like
be
Tommy
fun.
Pickles in the Rugrats, and the all grown up. He's got that purple ass hair. I want that. Honestly,
baller.
tonight after this podcast ends, I'm gonna hit up someone and get my hair dyed blue or purple. I'm not gonna lie, that's real. That's
Hell yeah.
real. Like Tommy
heard it here first.
freaking Pickles.
All right. So
To
Back to-
clarify for everyone else, the reason that Nick is here is because we use Discord to record, and we use the same like server for every episode. So in theory, anyone who has ever been on this podcast can hop in at any time, which I think is pretty cool, honestly.
That's
yeah, we kind
badass.
of invited everybody.
Let's get Dogleg in here.
Yeah, what we got?
Somebody at Chase.
Come on, Chase. Come on, I want to talk Smash.
Here, I'll throw it in the.
I would love to speak with Chase and tell him how good his new song is too.
Oh, it's so good.
Oh my god, it's so sick.
Here, I just added Chase. Hopefully,
Say-
hopefully.
Say
he
Kory,
sees
say Corey's been asking for you. Say that.
it. There's gonna be a lot of editing in this podcast.
No. I like it off the rails. That's how we like it.
All right, so let's hop back. Let's hop back to some movies
Movies.
a little bit.
Yeah.
So, what would you say is like? What would you say is like your favorite horror movie at the moment? Like, it can be anything recent, anything classic. Like, anything.
You saying at the moment was a lot of help because I couldn't answer. We'd be here all night. At the moment, I have this app on my phone called Letterboxd. I don't know if y'all ever heard of it.
Oh yeah.
It's essentially just like keeping track of the movies you watch and how much you like them and such. I'm going to look at that right now to tell you what I've been feeling.
This is like in the podcast live. I don't have to wait for anything.
Okay, this isn't my favorite. However, very recently, this is just an important monumental moment in my horror trajectory. I, for the first time ever at 23 years old, watched The Ring the other day,
Oh wow.
which is a movie that usually I feel like is the movie that gets you into horror movies. Like that's the PG-13 teen horror movie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. Like
Which-
it was like that and like Saw growing up.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. Exactly. Those two movies I feel like are like pretty formative, like introductory horror movies for kids of our generation. But I have not seen The Ring until me and our Prince Daddy's guitarist Cameron watched it maybe a week ago, and I was like in awe. Like that movie was really amazing. Like I understand why that held such a big impact on the horror community. Like that is the scariest PG-13 movie I've ever seen in my entire life, hands down.
It's a really messed up movie, and what's even funnier is it's about a VHS tape, which is like really dates it. Like really dates it.
Agreed. But like there's like it shows like clips and footage from the VHS tape a lot, and it like uses that kind of footage as like transitional sequences between scenes, you know. It uses footage from the VHS that is the subject of the film, and those shots are literally beautiful. Like they are like in the scariest way possible. Just like watching like the wind blow through the trees or like the water hit the rocks. Whatever kind of filter they put on that movie somehow makes it like really fucking gorgeously terrifying. Like nothing's even happening. It's just like shots of nature and like little things, but somehow they make it terrifying. And I was really impressed with just like watching that. Like nothing's even happening right now, but I'm scared. And that was a really cool feeling that I don't usually get, especially from like a PG-13 movie, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. If you ever watched the like the Japanese version of Ring, it's just called Ringu. It has a lot of moments like that. Like it has.
I'm very interested.
Yeah, it doubles down on that aesthetic like a lot, I feel like.
I'm trying to get more into that side of things, like the really like extra like supernatural, like stereotypical like urban legend ghost story kind of movie, because I feel like I'm not really that familiar with that. But like I want to watch like the original Grudge, not the American one, but the American one's a remake, right? I think
so, yeah.
I think so, and I don't like it that much.
Yeah, no, I heard it sucked. I've never seen either of them, but I heard that sucked. But I've heard the original is like a classic that is like you need to watch that, and I have never seen it, so that's definitely on my watch list on my Letterboxd account. Follow me, baby, Cornyboy69 Letterboxd
with a K and boy with an I.
Dude, you killed it with that one. Legitimately.
I gotta stay on it. That's what a good podcast host does. So is that where you err for like what you prefer out of like a main like conflict in a horror movie? Because you got like different types of stuff with like the supernatural, and then you got like stuff like The Purge where it's like realistic stuff but like unrealistic at the same time, and like that kind of stuff. Do you like supernatural stuff a little more, or like more like
I would
grounded?
Say I really do truly like both. I do. However, I can answer this question. I feel like supernatural is my answer, but not supernatural in the sense of ghost stories. I feel like I actually kind of get semi bored with ghost stories unless they're like really well done. Like a ghost story film has to be like really well done for me to like give that anything over like 3.5 or 4 stars. But supernatural as in like monsters or like just psychological shit. Like honestly, like one of my favorite films to come out. Honestly, probably the scariest movie I've ever seen was Hereditary.
Oh yeah, definitely wanted to bring that up.
Yeah, like that movie for me was like massive. Like I have horror movies are like my second passion of music, maybe even a tied first. But like seeing that movie changed everything for me, where I was like, okay, like there's shit that can be scary without really having a subject. Like if like the scariest parts in that movie for me were just like being overwhelmingly like sad and like traumatized. You know, it's not like it's not like jump scares. It's not like that monster's so scary looking. It's just like the fucking Naked Brothers boy waking up in his bed, and it's after spoiler alert. I don't know. I'm assuming everyone's seen it. It's been like 3 years, but he like
I'll put
wakes up.
timestamps.
Yeah, put timestamps for the spoilers. There's this scene when he just like he goes out to a party, whatever. He's rushing home, and then the thing happens. Her head, his sister's head falls off in a car accident, and then like in shock, he just
fucking goes home.
He just goes home, doesn't say anything. He's completely monotone. Like, there's nothing, like he is like dead inside. He goes to bed. He just goes to bed, does anything.
Oh,
then the following shot, the following shot of him waking up to his mom opening the door and screaming and crying, finding the body, and him just like trying to cover his ears with the pillow. Like that is scarier to me than any monster or jump scare I've ever seen. Like that was genuinely traumatizing for me. That like really raised the bar for like what a scary movie can do to my psyche. That one scene where nothing is even being shown besides him crying.
The psychological shit is like
it's heavy.
That fucks me up. Like I can't.
Truly.
It's hard for me to do that. Like for sure.
No, I definitely agree. That was like the one movie in the past, like probably like 5 or 10 years where it's like I came out of that and like I was feeling mad weird. Like I wasn't feeling like, ooh, like I can't turn the lights off at night. Like not that kind of scared. Like it was like existential dread kind of terror. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Did you watch Midsummer?
Oh yes, and I loved it. I thought it was phenomenal.
Yeah, similar moments in that for sure too.
Yeah, absolutely. That was honestly, if we're gonna get, if I may get a little heavy here, that was like actually like, I don't mean this in like a terrible way, actually in a good way because it's a horror movie and I want to get this reaction, but like that was genuinely like triggering for me, that movie, because I feel like I had an experience a couple years ago with a bad acid trip, and seeing that movie where like a lot of like the weirdness and like being unsettled comes from the visuals. Mm-hmm. And the fact that they're tripping for like 75% of the movie just made that all more like, I don't know the right word. It's just like, I was in it, you know, I was feeling it. I was there with them watching that movie. I was definitely affected by that movie the same way I was with Hereditary.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That was a great movie. That's one of my favorite movies last year, probably.
Yeah, that's
top 5 at least.
Those two for sure. And then both of the Jordan Peele movies, Us and Get Out, were like up there for me a lot.
I fucking love those movies. Those movies are special. Like Get Out and Us are like, honestly, those were inspirational to me even as a songwriter for some reason. I can't explain that, but like for some reason seeing those two movies had me very inspired as like a musician even. Those were I loved those movies. I think he's a genius, honestly.
Yeah, honestly, I would agree with that. I think Jordan Peele is just really incredible at what he does, and
truly,
like coming from the comedy background too, like it's just insane how well he's done that.
Dude, seriously, like watching Key and Peele, like it's not a stupid show. Like it is silly, but like I feel like that is a show that's as silly as it is, that will age better than most other sketch comedy shows based on the delivery and the subject matter, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Key and Peele is like really sweet because unlike other sketch comedy shows that I also enjoy, it's like those are like the kind of South Park kind of like whatever kind of humor, like oh, everything is funny, like, you know, no one should be offended by anything.
Exactly.
But like Key and Peele is just like, it's like actually saying stuff with it while
100%, 100%, and that makes it funnier. Honestly, to me, it makes it a lot funnier. The fact that they're like, it kind of seems like they have a mission statement in mind rather than just let's make someone laugh.
Yeah, they're definitely like putting in like a deeper sense of effort into it than you find in most other like comedy shows, I feel.
Yeah, absolutely. I would agree. I love that show. I fall asleep to that show like nightly, honestly. That or Futurama.
Oh, I will watch Futurama all day.
Me too. I love that show.
It's so good.
That show moves me. That show genuinely moves me. There's few cartoons out there that like I get invested in like I do with like a live action drama. But like that show and BoJack and stuff, those shows, sometimes I forget it's even animated. I'm like, damn, like this is like some real ass characters, you know?
Animated shows have a habit of like, if they're well done, they will absolutely just break my heart. Like Adventure Time
Same.
broke my heart.
Dude, yeah, Adventure Time is a good example for sure. I love that show.
Mhm.
I never finished it. Cameron, our guitarist, is like he loves that show. He finished it. He always gets pissed at me for not finishing it. But yeah, like that show, from what I watched, was definitely a special, monumental show.
Yeah, for sure. Ellie, you wanna throw in a question?
Oh yeah. Sorry, I got distracted. I just moved to a house that has 3 cats, and I've never lived with cats like before. So one of them, named Anna, just like came into my room and sat next to me, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, everything that I have ever wanted." But okay, hold on. Ooh, I have a question. Okay, so in the past like 10, 20 years, there's in movies in general, there's been the introduction of like CGI and ability to animate, like creepy characters better. Would you say that's been more? How do you think, as a whole, has it affected the like elements in horror movies? And would you say that makes it better or worse? If that makes any sense.
That makes perfect sense. That's a good question. It depends. I mean, like seeing a movie now, like let's say it's 2020 and I'm going to the theater to see a movie that just came out.
Yeah.
The CGI I feel like will be sick, and it won't distract me at all, and it'll be for the better. However, if it's 2025 and I'm watching that same movie, I feel like CGI ages so much more poorly than like practical effects. Like I feel like watching like, let me try to find an example here. I don't know, like what, like to go back to like Gremlins or E.T. or like Freddy Krueger, like Nightmare on Elm Street and stuff. Like seeing that stuff. It's how many years later, it's like 30 something, 40 something years later. And it's like, that still looks appealing to me. Whereas if you watch like a sci-fi original, like shitty, like The Meg or something like that, it's not the shit, not the shit on that. Cause I do love shitty B movies like that. I do truly. But like, if it just, there's no way to make it so it ages properly. There's no way. Because technology is going to keep improving. Whereas like, with Gremlins, you're making puppets. Like those puppets look how they look. That's how they're gonna look always,
Yeah.
And I like in the moment, CGI doesn't bother me, but like 5 years down the line, when I watch that same movie, it will bother me.
Have you ever seen Signs, Kory?
Signs with Mel Gibson?
Yeah.
I've seen it probably 45 times.
What do you think of the aliens in that movie?
You see, there's the scene.
There's like something about them.
There's something about them that's uber creepy, right?
Yeah, it's like I feel like it's the one CG that's like aged okay. Just because it's so uncanny.
Why that's what it is. I feel like it's because like the main scene in that movie that gets me, the one scene that I'm like that would give me nightmares as a kid is it's like
the video footage
on the news
yeah.
like a birthday party, and it walks by and it's like on a camcorder, so like they can do a shitty job doing CGI because it's recorded shittily anyways, because it's legitimately like the source of it is a camcorder. And I feel like in that sense, like you can make CGI look as shitty as you want. It's the camera's fault, not the CGI's fault. And that's why I feel like that movie is also another movie like that is like Cloverfield. Have you ever seen that movie?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, for
That's
sure.
like in my top 5 favorite movies of all time. Like that is like a huge movie for me. And like, I don't think that movie could age very poorly because you very rarely see the monster. When you do, it's like shaky cam, like all over the place. So like, it's not going to look good even if it was really happening.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like the more like in Signs, like the camcorder footage, like that part's like when they show the alien later and it's like a more of a clear shot, it's not quite as creepy.
It's not quite as creepy. Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Joaquin Phoenix is in that. Joker's in that.
No, literally, I was watching
Swing
it with
Away.
my girlfriend. Oh my god! And she was like, "Wait a minute." She's looking at the IMDb page, and she's like, "That is not him, is it?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, you know it."
What's his name? Swing Away. What? What's his name?
Swing. He's got a
Robbie or something.
Name.
Swing Away.
No,
Robbie.
Meryl. It's Meryl.
Meryl, swing away, Meryl. That's what it was. Dude.
Good movie.
And then he's hitting glasses of water off the coffee table. Just throw the glasses of water at him. Why are you using a baseball bat?
That movie turns into like a not horror movie whenever that scene happens.
There's also one scene in that movie that always confused me, and I would love some clarification from you. Nick, you're the one I'm talking to about signs right now, right?
Yes.
I'm sorry, I'm bad at this. Okay, cool. There's a part in that movie when like they're in the basement, like hiding from the aliens from the big night, from like the invasion night, and the little kid is having like a asthma attack. And there's a point when like he's like comforting him, Mel Gibson, the dad is, and he's like, I hate you. And I'm like, what is he talking about? Your kid is dying. Why are you? Do you remember this at all?
He says, I hate you. Is he referring to like the aliens? Or?
No, he is talking directly to his child who's having an asthma attack. He's
got to be saying like, I got you.
Hate you. No, bro. I had subtitles on always. He's saying, I hate you. And
I resent you for having asthma during this time.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, is he angry because he's making him sad? Because if so, grow the fuck up. You're his father.
No, he's Mel Gibson. He's a good dad in that movie. Then a year later, he made Passion of the Christ.
I think 2020, it's not acceptable to compliment Mel Gibson.
Oh, yeah.
So, I can agree with that.
No, the character that was written by... wasn't it M. Night Shyamalan who made that movie?
Yeah, it was.
No, yeah, but fuck Mel Gibson. But then he made Passion of the Christ, and I was like, go off.
Fuck you, Mel. Fuck you,
Go
Mel.
off, I guess.
Go off. Make me watch that movie in Catholic school twice. Go off, Mel.
I was about to say, go see it on Easter in 2020. Still.
Wait. So Chase, I texted Chase, and he uninstalled Discord from his phone, but wants to ask if y'all have seen Creep.
I have seen Creep 1 and Creep 2. Yes, I have.
I have not.
I didn't know they made a music video for that.
Classic.
I have not seen it.
Zing! I have seen Creep. I have seen Creep 2. I like them both. I think Creep 2.
I wish Chase was here to discuss it. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. Tell Chase from Dogleg fame. A, I like both of his new songs. B, Creep 2 is a good sequel, and good sequels are hard to come by.
Especially in horror.
However, honestly, I've been coming to the realization, I've like accepted that, and I think I like shitty sequels now. If that makes any sense. Like, I love when the first movie's great, like an actual phenomenal film, and then they make 6 more and they all suck, but they're so much fun to watch. Like Friday the 13th.
Yeah, Friday the 13th too.
Yeah, Saw is a perfect example.
Dude, those are fucking madness. Like it's all about up in the ante.
Fun.
Saw 2 is actually like still pretty good, but then like
Saw 1 is amazing.
Oh, it's a great movie.
Saw 1 is a great movie. That was like an actual, like, not even by extension of the word. That's an actual indie film, right? Am I right in saying that?
It's like super low budget.
Yeah. That movie is a phenomenal film, in my opinion. I like no irony there. Like, I think the first Saw and honestly the second one, I think are both really good movies.
Did you see the trailer for the new Chris Rock one?
Chris Rock Saw?
You didn't see it?
Yeah, Chris Rock and Samuel L. Jackson.
You are literally bullshitting me right now.
It's off the book that Saw was based off of, I think. It's like more true
it's
to
a
like
reboot?
This is not a joke. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a reboot. It's like a real like Saw movie based with Chris Rock and Samuel L. Jackson.
So should I be cringing or should I be excited?
No, it's kind of 50-50 right now.
Oh, it's called Spiral.
There's already a trailer for it?
Yeah.
Is it like an A24 movie or something? Or is it like some high budget ass like Hollywood?
It's definitely high budget. If I
Lionsgate.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
I'm interested.
It seems like kind of a passion project. I guess Chris Rock really wanted to make a Saw movie.
Is he the producer of it?
I think so, yeah.
Damn, interesting. I don't really know much about Chris Rock outside of comedy. I figured that's kind of what he had going for him.
I don't know. I've never seen Chris Rock do anything besides comedy.
Right. Yeah.
So, like-
honestly, me neither.
Neither do I.
Yeah.
I like him as what's the name of that movie? Give me some Chris Rock movies.
The only one that I can remember is Top 5.
Is Chris Rock in the Chris Farley movie Beverly Hills Ninja?
It would make sense. I've never
Hold on,
seen
I'm
that
gonna
movie,
Google
though.
this because I would hate to be wrong. Hold on.
Hmm.
Beverly Hills Ninja. Please don't be wrong. Yes, he is. Thank Christ. Yes. Yeah. Okay. I love Chris Farley too. Not aside from horror. Chris Farley is my favorite comedian. So,
One of the best to ever do it.
dude,
For sure.
something
Committed
special.
to the bit every time.
Legitimately, even if you watch him on like interviews, like late night, like Letterman shows and shit like that, like he is like constantly playing his character, which leads you to believe that it's not a character. He's playing himself. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Which is
Chris
honorable.
Rock is. Sorry, go. You could finish.
No. What were you gonna say? My bad.
Breaking news: Chris Rock was Osmosis Jones.
Oh, wow.
That's what I was
I
I
thinking.
forgot about
That's what I was thinking. Yes, you're right.
Oh my god.
Good show, good movie. I think the show
And
was
then-
called like Ozzy and Drix.
Wasn't Kelsey Grammer Drix?
What
Is
an
that
all-star
right?
cast, you know?
Who's Kelsey Grammer? I know that
He's
name.
Sideshow Bob from The Simpsons.
I see.
He's also Frasier. If you ever watched Frasier, but
I know what it is. I'm not very familiar, however.
well, Sideshow Bob is the more important character culturally, I would say.
He's a legend, huh?
Exactly. I guess we can get back onto some kind of topic. Ellie, you got the list in front of you.
Topics aren't fun. Hold on. Okay. Do you have a guilty pleasure horror movie? Or is that something that you think is impossible to
I feel like
Right.
liking horror movies is the guilty pleasure. Honestly, I feel like it's funny because like 90% of the quote unquote good horror movies, like the ones that like stick with me, will never get like above a 60% on like Rotten Tomatoes or IMDb or something.
Oh, yeah.
At base level, like a good horror movie is going to be received more poorly than like if you go to see, I don't know, like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, like a Tarantino or something. You know what I'm saying? Like it's going to
Horror
be
is like the emo of the film industry.
no, exactly. That's exactly
Damn.
it. Except, yeah, no. I it's like Hereditary was the first horror movie in so long that critics were actually like, okay, maybe we have something going on here. But besides that, it's like the good horror movies are still like at like a 50 on Rotten Tomatoes or something. So you can't really you kind of just got to go by what you like and stuff. You can't really look at ratings online. Like I know like when I'm looking, like when I'm like late at night trying to find something to watch on Netflix or whatever, it's like I definitely will like find a movie and like Google it and see what people say about it. But when it comes to like a horror movie, it's usually just like if the summary sounds good, I'll watch it because I know that like no matter what, it's gonna have like a 50%, and there's gonna be people being like, stupid plot. They should have went out the door
Mhm.
instead of up the stairs. And it's like, shut up. That's the point. Have fun.
Yeah, horror is the only genre where I'll actually still watch a movie if it's got like an 8% on Rotten Tomatoes.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
I honestly, there's a huge, I'd say like a massive corner of the horror movie community where like how bad it is what is the charm, in my opinion.
for sure.
Like late Friday the 13th movies, like once you get into like the 4, 5, 6 territory of those movies, like they're not good, but that's what makes them iconic. Is like you're rooting for the killer. Like, yeah, these fucking people are stupid. That's the point. Like,
you just want to
it's-
see crazy shit.
It's fun. It's just. I guess this isn't something to be proud about, but it's just like mindless fun. Like it's like cathartic. It's therapeutic almost.
You just want to see a dude in a hockey mask fuck up some teenagers. Like,
right? Sometimes that's just the vibe of the night.
sometimes it works. So just out of curiosity, I looked up the Metacritic score of my personal favorite horror movie, which is Evil Dead 2.
That's mine too, yo. That's number 1 for me.
Yo, sick.
Yo,
This is
Evil Dead 2,
69.
number 1. 69. LOL. I heard that number before, I think. Yo, Evil Dead, that's so cool that you brought that up. That's my number 1.
I always bring up Evil Dead in horror movie conversations. What do you think about the first one? What do you think about the first one?
I think it's good. I wouldn't like. I wouldn't give that one the high praise that I'd give Evil Dead 2, Army of Darkness, or even the reboot they did. I thought was
the show
fucking phenomenal. No, the one with
the
Ash
movie.
as a girl. Yeah. Dude, that movie was terrifying. That movie was so good. I'll show my friends that, and they'll even be like, "Damn, like that was fucked up. Like holy shit." I love those movies. That's one of my favorite franchise of all time. That's like exactly my vibe. Like a good campy B movie. That's my vibe.
And it was like on purpose too. Like Evil Dead 2 was like almost a comedy and like it was a comedy in like a lot of spots.
Absolutely. Especially Army of Darkness. Army of Darkness doesn't even have a single drop of blood in it, I don't think.
No, I don't think it does.
Yeah.
Because it's all skeletons.
It's all skeletons. Yo, I love those movies. I'm so glad you brought that up.
Dude, those are sick. Those I guess I got into them like after I saw like the original like Spider-Man movies. And I was like, I appreciated the Spider-Man movies a lot more after I watched Evil Dead because like Bruce Campbell pops up and like the Spider-Man movies are like so like campy with like Sam Raimi making them.
Yeah,
and stuff.
you can totally see the Sam Raimi like little like he has these little quirks, and they even obviously Evil Dead was like kind of a DIY movie, like it was just like a passion project, whatever. But like even with a huge Hollywood production like Spider-Man, you can still definitely see some identifiable like Sam Raimi quirks in those 3 movies, especially Spider-Man 3, which honestly I like. I think that movie is so fun.
Here we
I
are.
think
You
that
heard
is
it here
a
first.
fun movie. I don't think it's a good movie, but I think it is. I sit down and enjoy that movie the same way I sit down and enjoy my horror movies. You know, it's just
Makes
wacky.
sense.
It's wacky. It's just silly and wacky, and the fact that it got made is the fun part.
What are your thoughts on the new Spider-Man movies? The Marvel
ones?
Yeah.
The live action ones I have not seen. I heard they're really good. However, Into the Spider-Verse, the animated one, I think that is the best comic book movie of all time. Maybe second behind Dark Knight, but it is up there with like the greatest comic book movies of all time. I think that is like such a wonderful, beautiful movie. I love that. I watched that movie like 6 times in a row when it first came out, and I never got tired of it.
Oh, yeah, I've definitely watched that movie a bunch. Sorry, Ellie.
Such a good movie.
It's just kind of dirt in the wound for Ellie, unfortunately.
Does Ellie not like that movie?
No, it's got a lot of like flashing light effects, so I couldn't see it.
Oh. Yeah. Yes. Okay. I saw that movie with someone who had the same problem, honestly, and that was a big complaint of theirs. Yeah. That's a real thing. That's definitely a real thing.
Yeah, that's what I've seen. I got the gist, and it looked really cool.
Right.
But just
I feel you.
Anyways, the reason that I like originally started Lead was because I couldn't see The Incredibles 2, and The Incredibles is like my favorite Pixar movie, and I was so fucking mad. Like
Incredibles is number 1 for you?
Yep.
I mean, it might be number 1 for me.
That's up there for my for superhero movies for sure.
Wait a sec. Is everyone in this group agreeing that Incredibles is number 1 Pixar movie?
No, I wouldn't
Maybe
say
not Pixar movie. I would say superhero movie. It's like top 5.
Okay,
Coco's up there for me.
Is Coco
That's one I haven't seen.
Coco's hella sick. Coco was very good. But like obviously, like, you know, Finding Nemo, Monsters Inc., and Toy Story. Those are my
Story too.
Yeah.
My favorite.
Honestly, it's been a long, long time, but I feel like if I went back and watched Bug's Life, that would be up there for me too.
Bug's Life is great. I will stamp that movie is still great.
I don't remember it that well, but I feel like I still am a stand regardless if I don't remember it, because I just remember really, really thinking it was great.
And its ugly cousin Ants. Remember that movie?
No.
Why'd they have to do shit like that? Like there was more. Like, remember when Finding Nemo came out? Shark Tale.
Shark Tale with Will
Okay.
Smith.
I have an even better one. I haven't even. E.T. Have y'all ever seen Mac and Me?
Oh wait, is that the one that what's his name plays on that talk show? all
Paul
the
Rudd.
time?
Paul Rudd. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude.
Let me look this up.
Oh my God. It is the Shark Tale of E.T. It is E.T.'s Shark Tale.
Oh no.
It is, except it is a big giant. It's just an advertisement for McDonald's. It's like, I cannot believe it exists. I love it. I'm actually wearing a shirt of it right now. I love Mac and Me. It's just because of how stupid it is. It's ridiculous.
His name is Mac, and it's all about, and it's like a giant McDonald's ad. Oh
It's
no.
lit. It's lit. There's an entire like 5-minute dance scene inside of a McDonald's.
It has 11,000 reviews on IMDb, and it's a 3.3. All right, I'm gonna watch this.
One of the
sometime
most
when we're not recording a bunch of
legendary
podcasts.
movies of all time. I love that movie.
That's sick.
Yeah. It's better than Shark Tale. I'll say that.
I mean, that's a low bar.
I mean, we're talking about shitty ripoffs of other movies, so the bar's already pretty low, I think.
That's true. I'll give you that.
I'm trying to think of more shitty ripoffs.
Yeah, me too. Paul was like kind of in the same vein, I guess, of like E.T., but it was like supposed to be that.
That was
Yeah.
more like of an adult comedy, though, right? Like that was, like,
Yeah,
yeah.
'cause that was like Simon Pegg and Nick Frost.
Right.
I got the list of stuff to ask here somewhere because we're way off.
It happens.
I love
fine.
being way off.
That's
It's
fine. That's
fun.
perfectly fine. I mean, Nick can tell you we definitely did not stay on topic during our podcast.
What was Nick's topic?
We could talk about
Nintendo.
Shadow the Hedgehog again.
Ooh, he's got a gun. The hedgehog's got a gun.
President has a picture of Shadow and Sonic on his desk.
Maria.
we got to talk about Shadow the Hedgehog on at least every other episode.
What was Nick's topic when Nick was on as the
Nintendo
Oh,
handheld
classic.
specifically, so it wasn't even GameCube that Shadow the Hedgehog was on.
Yeah, honestly, I had Shadow for PS2. That's kind of bootleg, right?
I think I
Oh, no.
ended up with 2 copies of it. And I don't know how that happened.
That game was rated E10, and I was like exactly 10 whenever that game came out.
So, you're in the
So
clear.
I had to like convince my parents and be like, they say it's okay. It's not T, I promise.
And Shadow was like, E10? This is bull crap.
Damn. Maria.
We could talk about this again. Okay.
We just gotta keep talking about Shadow the Hedgehog. Talk
Shadow
about
the
how he had a
Hedgehog.
motorcycle.
Yo, it's E.T. He had a motorcycle, he had a gun, and he said damn once. Oh, so cool.
Remember
Damn,
that-
Chaos Emerald.
You remember the trailer for it where it kind of implies that he shot Sonic?
Dude, I
No.
don't remember that. That's sick, though.
It's like a full CG trailer, and like Sonic is like he has like singe marks on his fur, and he like faints, and then right behind him is Shadow, just like looking triumphantly, holding a gun, and it like kind of implies that Shadow just shot Sonic.
That's dark as hell.
Didn't seem like that when I was 10, that's for sure.
Corey, did you ever see that really old anime Sonic movie?
Oh yes,
I
I've
think I
seen it.
have. Can you describe the opening sequence to me, and I'll know immediately.
Sonic and Tails are on a beach.
Yes, and I loved it.
I haven't
Metal
seen it in like
Sonic.
20 years.
Metal Sonic in
But-
that movie, right?
Yeah, that was like the main thing. I think.
Yes, dude. That
Voice
mo-
acting in that movie. Oh my
I would
god!
go to Blockbuster and rent that movie like twice a month.
They do it for free?
Blockbuster, baby. What'd you say?
And didn't they have like a free kids movie thing? I don't
I'm
know.
not
Maybe
sure.
that was my local place.
I was too
But yeah.
young to know what money was.
I used to get that. I used to get that movie in the mail from Netflix back when Netflix was like a mail order DVD service.
The Sonic one,
Yeah,
dude.
I rented that
see,
movie like 5 times.
It was it was a good little cartoon. I liked that.
Mhm.
Honestly, that was, in my opinion, that was like the best rendition of Sonic outside of games.
Same.
Actually,
yeah.
no. Sonic X was pretty cool, actually.
Oh, I
like
always
Sonic.
forget that and the Kirby show existed.
Sonic, yeah,
the Kirby
Fox
show was good
Fox.
too.
4Kids TV, baby.
Mhm.
Yes.
Love that.
Sonic X was really cool. I like Sonic X included a lot of stuff from different timelines, which I thought was cool. Like they had a lot of like Sonic Adventure 2 battle references and stuff.
Yeah, there was a couple seasons that was basically like that plot, wasn't there?
Yeah, and I think that was really, really cool to me. I was like really impressed that they decided to go with that.
Yeah, that was
I'll
super
have to
dope.
find it somewhere.
I think it's on Netflix, honestly.
It's-
Really?
It's on Hulu. I know that.
Maybe that's
I
why
got both. Sweet.
it's
Well, there you
somewhere
go.
around.
You're in.
I'm in.
Damn.
Damn, I'm in.
All right, dope. Do we want to go back to a horror movie question or not?
I love horror movies.
Yeah,
I'd like
why
to hear
not?
y'all
Why
talk
not?
more about it.
All right. So, what do you think is like? Are there any cliches in horror movies that you think is like either really good or really bad? Like, what's something that like a bunch of horror movies do that's like really dope or like really not dope?
I feel like horror movies with like that like capitalize on the tropes are usually my favorite ones, not gonna lie. Like I feel like the ones who don't try to hide the fact that they're gimmicky horror movies are like the funniest ones, like Evil Dead. But
Yeah,
like
true.
you ever seen Cabin in the Woods?
Oh yeah, the movie's
Love Cabin in the
fantastic.
Woods.
Oh my god. The way that movie handles horror movie tropes, I think, is so fun. I feel
That
like
movie is like if an episode of Community was a horror movie.
that's exactly what it is. Dude, I could watch a movie a million times over again. I think the way they handle trope, like those tropes that you're referring to, is like my preferred way, where it's like they are there 100%. However, they're like taking them and kind of like dismantling them a little bit. Like they're kind of like deconstructing the genre a little bit and kind of like seeing like, you're so used to this, but let's take these things you're used to and like throw you for some curveballs. Like they're like literally it's all happening. They're sacrificing these people as like a game show for a god. Like that's
Mhm.
fucking ridiculous. That's absolutely bonkers. But like they still play with the same tropes, just in like the most creative way possible. And I
It's
feel
really
like
cool.
that's where I stand on that question. Is like I do like the tropes, but I would like it if they use them in a kind of a more self-aware way.
That makes sense. Two things I've got. The scene in Cabin in the Woods where they're at the chalkboard and it's like the betting
Yes.
pool of like
Yep.
who it's gonna be this year, and it's like, all right, who had Redneck Torture Family? I love that scene.
I pause that every time I watch that. I pause that scene every time.
You
and I
look at the selections.
yeah,
You
because
look at the
there's a lot-
names.
there's a lot of deep cuts in there. There's a lot of ones that are like genuine, like direct references to actual like old cult horror movies.
Oh yeah.
Like there's a lot of them, and I think it's just like kind of like the whole movie is just like this, like them paying respect to the genre, you know, in a very tasteful way. And there's
mean,
a lot of
even-
scenes like that. Like even the last scene when like that all the monsters are like let loose. Like there's so much callbacks to like Hellraiser and Freddy Krueger and Saw and stuff like that. And it's just like, damn, like whoever made this definitely had a love for the genre, and I like to witness that love.
That
Yeah.
movie is incredible.
Yeah,
It really
I
is.
agree.
Similar vein. Have you seen Tucker and Dale versus Evil?
Yes, I love
They-
that movie.
They do like a very similar thing with that.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
like just all like turned on its head.
That's a funny movie. Those two dudes are funny. They're in some other stuff together too. I forget what. There's this movie with the bigger guy from that. The guy with the beard.
Shit.
It's
I only know
another
the other
horror
guy's
comedy.
Alan Tudyk.
His name is Two Dick.
No, well, the other guy, not the guy with the beard.
Got you.
His name is Alan Tudyk.
Okay.
Let me look
Um,
this up. Tucker and Dale.
The bigger guy in Tucker and Dale is in another movie that's like almost exactly the same, where like his fiance accidentally kills somebody and they have to like cover it up together, and it's a horror comedy like that. And it was really, really good. I forget what it was called. I think that dude's funny as hell, though.
I can't see what.
I love how the beer in that movie is just like beer. Like the can just says beer.
I never
They open their
noticed
car
that
when they
before.
get pulled over. Can't say beer pour out of their car. It's so funny.
Damn, that guy was in the X-Files.
Whoa.
Was he?
Yeah, he's listed as stoner or stoner number 1 in the X-Files. I think I love this guy.
It was in the episode with Jack Black, I think, actually. I
In
think
the
I
new
know what
one?
episode. Oh, it's a new X-Files episode.
Well, he was in the old one too.
Oh, yeah. I think he's a stoner. He's friends with Jack Black in an episode. If I'm thinking of the right guy.
I haven't watched the X-Files in a long time. All right,
I
I'm gonna go down an
casually watched
IMDb
that.
rabbit hole, and we're on a podcast right now, so I shouldn't do that.
Nah, we're on a podcast about movies, though, so you should do that.
All right, you got a point. You got a point. This has been one of the been one of the more lively episodes. Let's put it that way. Ellie, you got anything?
I'll look at my questions now.
I think we hit most of them.
I think we hit most of them.
So I think we got pretty much everything in here.
Right on.
I don't know.
Productive.
Yeah, for sure. We got our whole list. We got our whole list done. This is the first time we made a list too. We need to make a longer list next time. So like 3 horror movies that you can find, like 3 horror movies that can like introduce somebody to horror, like just in general, like something that'll make people be like, yo, this is really sick. I want to watch more of this.
Should I avoid ones we already mentioned? We already talked about?
Not necessarily. If you think like Evil Dead 2 would be like a good one for that.
Evil Dead
like,
2.
Yeah.
Evil Dead 2 is definitely right up there. One sec. Let me open up my letterbox again because I have the memory of a squirrel. Evil Dead 2. I'm sorry, my bad. One sec. I just
You're
don't want to.
okay.
I don't want to half-ass this answer. You know.
Not for sure.
The pop-up Scream video with the car.
Yeah, that YouTube commercial. Yeah, that's definitely up there. Damn, that did get me when I was a kid.
Oh
Definitely.
wow. We didn't even talk about Scream. I'm actually kind of surprised that didn't.
Oh,
come.
I love Scream. I love that. That's my
That's
vibe.
like the one
you
we
know?
kind of missed. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
That and Texas Chainsaw.
Texas Chainsaw's sick.
That movie kind of fucked me up as a kid.
I mean, yeah, that movie's scary as fuck.
That's like the scariest of like the OG ones.
Cabin in the Woods is up there. The original Halloween is up there. That movie It Follows, I really loved. I loved that movie a lot. The Witch with 2 V's, The Vitch.
Saw that in theaters.
Big fan of that movie. I saw Mandy with Nick Cage. Thought that was a great movie. Let's see. I'm just going through my 5-star movies here. Yeah, that Ring movie. Oh, I love Return of the Living Dead. Not Night. Return of the Living Dead is up there for me. I love that movie.
Good. That's really
Yeah.
campy too.
That's a really campy good one. I love that. That actually has the main character in that is the main character in my favorite Friday the 13th movie.
Oh,
Which is
That's
another
cool.
just like really shitty, campy horror movie. Yeah, I'd say the ones I just mentioned are up there.
cool. I think that's a good like.
Nightmare on
that's a
Elm
good
Street 3.
primer. What's
Nightmare
up?
on Elm Street 3 was a big one for me. I like it's
that's a
called
good one.
Dream Warriors. I think that's that one's called. I like that one a lot.
That one's cheesy, but like
Exactly. That's
super
why I
good.
like it. Yes. yes.
cheesy horror movies are the best. Honestly,
They're the best.
Like I would take those. I would take those most times over like movies that take themselves too seriously.
Yes. The one genre where the worse it is, the better it is.
Exactly. Evil Dead. Like I'm gonna keep going back to it just because it's my favorite.
Please
but,
do.
like,
Please do. Yeah, I
Evil
can
Dead-
talk about it forever.
Evil Dead is not like it wasn't seeking out to be a good movie. It just kind of accidentally became a good movie.
The
Like-
first one, especially, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, exactly. That movie, like, it really, and it honestly, looking back on it now with the great sequels and stuff, it really isn't that great of a movie. The first Evil
No.
Dead movie is not that good. I love it. Like, I'll watch it, and I think the aesthetic is like exactly what I want, but the movie itself is like not particularly great.
Some of the
But-
stuff in it is cool. Like the
Yeah.
camera shot, with like
The-
going like the camera
through the
like flying
woods?
through the woods. Like that's
Yes.
super cool.
Iconic. Yeah, I love that.
Incredible.
Yes, agreed.
All right. Other than that, I think we got just about everything we need to talk about down. So
Right
we can
Hell
move into
yeah.
some closing stuff.
for
um,
sure.
Hey Nick, you wanna shout yourself out real quick since you were basically third co-host on here?
I love
Sure.
Nick.
I have a YouTube channel called Nickamajig. It sounds how it's spelled, and I have a Zelda cover of Song of Storms on there, and you can go check me out.
That's it. That's the only thing you got going.
I've never been in that yet. Also, I did this side
Sick band.
project.
He's
I
in a
did
sick
this side
band,
project called Equipment, and it's doing okay, I guess.
and it fucking rocks.
Thank you, Kory.
Of course, dude. I love your band. Honestly, genuinely, I mean it. Your band is sick.
I cherish every time I see y'all and every time we've played with y'all.
God bless.
Sick.
Big, wholesome energy for sure.
Love it. All right, Kory, you wanna go next? Plug the socials, plug the band, plug the tours.
Yeah, we got Twitter, we got Instagram, we got Facebook. Prince Daddy and the Hyena. I'm sure if you type that in, all three of those things will pop up. Cosmic Thrill Seekers. It's an album we got. I like it. Maybe you will. You could listen to it. Buy tickets to our shows. We're going on tour this spring with other good bands that are better than us.
Hell yeah!
Yeah. Yeah,
Buy
man.
merch.
Buy merch. We got Gremlins
we-
merch.
Can we start a beef for Jake Sulzer real quick?
I love Jake Sulzer.
I would like to
Jake
start
will
a
never
beef
listen
though.
to this. Jake
Get
will
Jake-
never even listen to this, though. If he knows that I'm on a podcast, he'll make sure to fucking block y'all.
He's about to block a lot of podcasts then.
Yep, like 6 a day.
Damn.
Hey,
All right.
Jake, if you're listening, I love you. Please listen because I want you to be proud of me. Hey, thanks. Bye.
Also, hop on here, Jake.
Yeah.
We gotta talk about something.
We know you got
I'm
Discord.
Yeah, we're not stupid, Jake. All right. We know you're here.
We've all been in a Chatterbot Discord at some point. All right, Ellie.
I'm Ellie. I do a bunch of different things. You can find all of them on my Twitter, which is Ellie_heart_though. Got some cool tours coming up. Next big thing is Fochella, which is in Bowling Green, Ohio on April 18th. It's 2 days
17th.
and
I think.
17th. Yes.
That's the day we play. I hope it exists.
Yes, you want to come to both days. There's some good shit going on. But
go
yeah,
out
that's all you have for me.
All right. For my personal, it's at Alpaca Neb. If you want to follow my band, it's at Sweet Peach MD. And if you want to follow the podcast, it's at No1 Cares Cast. Because I had to shorten it. So yeah. If you need to follow us, if you want to DM us, if you want to be on the podcast, hit me up. We got a lot of stuff going on. It's really dope.
Yeah.
Follow us, iTunes, Spotify. Follow Chillwavve on YouTube because that's where we post it on YouTube. Other than that, that's about it. So thank you so much,
Sweet.
Kory, for coming on. This
Yo,
was
thank you so much
really
for having
fun.
me. I had a lot of fun talking with y'all.
Thanks, Nick, for popping in.
Thanks for not kicking me immediately.
We got 2 more episodes to record today, so if you wanna hop in with